Credit spreads tell you something. It tells you something also that the combined foreign exchange reserves of the nations of Africa now exceed the foreign exchange reserves of the United States of America. In a world where creditors speak and debtors listen, it is high time for Africa to speak more and the nations of the industrialized world to listen more. And that is why this dialogue is so very important. I want you to imagine a place thought to be hobbled by a colonial legacy, racked by historical conflicts, facing the specter of Malthus, seen as homogeneous by outsiders, but known by insiders to be made of many different units, facing the profoundest governance challenges. I suppose some of you think that I'm talking about Africa at the beginning of the 21st century. But actually, I had in mind Asia at the end of the 1970s. As a student, I was taught in the 1970s that Asia's prospects were desperate. A prominent Stanford professor, Paul Ehrlich, proclaimed that the battle for Asia's future had been fought and lost, and that in the 1990s, famine lay ahead. How wrong that prediction was. Asia was the most rapidly growing region in the world for the last 30 years. Any investor wishes they had invested in Asia 30 years ago. And I am here to tell you, and it is not just me, it is the IMF, it is Citigroup, it is Goldman Sachs, that there is a very real prospect that Africa will be the most rapidly growing region in the world over the next generation. And I would dare to suggest that, of course, investing in Africa is risky. But for those who wish to share in the adventure of our times, I would suggest to you that staying out of Africa is even riskier.